All right, we're just going to wait and make sure this actually works. All right, looks like it started now. So here we go. October 2025 recap. We're now 10 months through the year, which is pretty crazy to think, actually. Only November and December left to go. So let's see how I did this time. First, we'll do a very brief channel update. We'll look at the results and look to see how things look for the rest of the year. First, for the channel update, there's really nothing to update. I haven't really uploaded much of anything, and I'm not sure I really plan to anytime soon. I don't know. I've been focusing on other stuff, so we'll see. So I'll do another recap at the end of November. We'll see. I'm sure I'll do a live stream or two somewhere sometime in November, but we'll see what happens. I'll probably do a minute to win it live stream again, and then I'm not really sure after that. But yeah, so that's pretty much all for that. So let's just get right into it. The October results. Here we go. The passive income. It was my second best month ever. It was a 25% drop actually from last month, but last month was ridiculous. Almost hit $1,000 last month, but this month I got $685, which was pretty darn good. So very happy about that. And yeah, there's not really much to say. That's just kind of because I moved some money around and sort of set myself up for the long term here with the passive income. So unfortunately, it's gonna drop a little bit more, and that's probably what we'll see from here on out. Is it's probably gonna drop to well, I already have a pretty good idea of what November's is going to be. It's probably going to be between $500 and $600, and then it's probably just going to slowly decrease over time. So really, we've peaked here in the passive income. There's not really a way because they cut interest rates again, and they're likely going to keep doing that into next year. So there's really not a way to keep going higher on the passive income because I'm not making out enough money to offset the interest rate cuts. I would need to be making a lot more money. So that's why I put a bunch of my money into a CD for it was for 14 months, and I did that back in September. So it'll go till November of next year. So pretty much I'm going to be set pretty much probably around $500, hopefully. A little more to start, but as time goes on and they cut interest rates more and more, that number will go down. But it should be about $500 consistently every single month through pretty much all of next year. So, and I kind of opted for that strategy, knowing that they were going to probably cut interest rates. So our numbers will probably drop down to somewhere around here, but they'll stay pretty consistently there for probably the whole year. So, but regardless, that's in the future. This month was really good. Cannot complain. So, yeah, that's really all to say about the passive income. It was another great month there. Now for the net worth, which is arguably the most important, it was a decent month actually. I would say it was a pretty good month. When it comes to percentage wise, this was our worst positive month, just 1.68%. We're now up to 22% up on the year. When comparatively not the greatest, it's not actually the worst month money wise. My worst positive month in terms of pure dollar amounts was this month, where I made just under $3,000. This was March. This month I made about $3,300. So it's a little better, but overall, it wasn't obviously not any huge months like these where I was making $5,000 a month in profit. This month, only just over about 3,300. And there is a reason for that. I was expecting this to be a lower month, anyways, because I did have to buy some new tires for my vehicle, and that cost me, I think it was close to $600. So that obviously takes a big chunk away. We'd be up to 197,000 if I did that. But so I already knew that was going to be an expense, and then I did actually pay a lot of things early for what would have been expenses in November. I paid off my car insurance, which was like $270. And then I paid for a life insurance thing, which was another $60. So that's another like 300 some dollars that I really was expecting to pay in November, but I just decided I'm already spending a bunch in October, so may as well go do it. So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really change much. But so I basically am having a worse October to hopefully have a better November, basically, is the hope. So this month, back in December or January, I kind of set a goal for myself. I didn't want to go over $2,000 of spending for a single month. And this is the second month that I have failed that. I spent $2,308, I think. But in theory, I'm not really counting it as much of a failure because I did decide to pay stuff for November off early. And that was like probably close to $350 worth. So if I didn't do that, then I still would have stayed under $2,000. The only other time I went over $2,000 was back in March here, this other kind of not great positive month. Because then I also bought new vehicles for my car. So that month was just naturally spending more. And I only went over by like $70. So nothing crazy there. So, but my saving overall, however you want to say it, saving or just lack of spending this year so far has been a lot better than last year. I don't have the exact numbers on hand with me at the moment, but definitely at the end of the year, I'm going to take an average of all the months of this year and all the months of last year and compare. But I'm definitely doing better so far this year. And with hopefully not having much expenses in November, it should look good for the next month too. But regardless, we're still climbing. It was still a positive month. We went up just over $3,000. Can't complain about that. And we are ticking closer to that $200,000 mark. Here's the all-time chart here, up 28.37 from October of last year. October of last year, we were sitting at $153,000. Now we're at $196,000. That's $43,000 more than where we were at this point last year. That's pretty crazy to think about. And we are kind of on a good roll here. We've had 5 straight positive months in a row. And what is this? 9. 9 months is my record. So up to 5 months here. We're starting to. It would still take a while, but things are looking decent at the moment, unless something big happens. Here's the sort of daily chart here. Obviously, pretty much just looks the same for most of the year. The really only 3 parts that stand out is the 2 vehicle purchases, and then August having that one super big paycheck. That was pretty crazy. But so otherwise, everything's just been pretty consistent here. Obviously, you can see it's slowed down a little bit here these last 2 months, but that's also because I am focusing more on putting money into my 401k rather than my, just savings. So, and in the future outlook, I'm hoping to continue that. I really could be getting like another $1,000 every single month, but I'm really trying to put money into my 401k because whenever I do move out, whenever I do buy a house, I'm going to have a lot more expenses. So I'm really not going to be able to put as much money into a 401k. So that's why I want to put as much money as I can in now. And then hopefully just as the stock market goes up over time, that will help grow it more so than me continually putting money in there. So I'm just trying to throw as much in there as early as I can. So that's why really I'm putting, what am I putting? I put about $900 every single paycheck, and then I get a match from where I work. It's a little over $100. So I'm putting close to $2,000 towards that over the course of a month. Um, so yeah, that's my plan for the time being, is to keep doing that as long as I can. I'm not sure how long it's going to continue. It also does depend on me being on me working on Saturdays, because I get paid overtime on Saturdays. So without that money, I won't be able to do that. Um, if for some reason I am not able to keep working Saturdays and get that overtime money, then I'll have to drop that amount that I'm contributing by quite a bit, probably like $600-700. But I should still be able to continue to grow my accounts here, even if that does happen. I've kind of done the math. It would be close, but it should be doable. We won't be growing at the same rate, but it'll still be enough to keep moving up. So $200,000. The possibility is looking very real. And I will say, unless there is, another major event here, if one of my cars, something happens or something big happens, it's almost a certainty we're going to hit it by the end of the year. And I'm really making it a goal here, because I paid off some of my big expenses for the month of November. I really don't have much for expenses in November coming up here, and I really think I can do it. Provided something unexpected or big doesn't happen, I feel pretty confident that I can get to $200,000, not just by the end of the year, but by the end of November. So, in in 1 month, hopefully, I'm coming back here and saying that we finally hit $200,000, which would be a crazy accomplishment, seeing where we started from just over $100,000 over the course of these last 2 years. So hopefully I can make it happen. I'm going to try my best to make it happen, but we'll just have to see. So I also do get a raise in November. I won't really see the effects of that until my paycheck's in December, though. But that is still something to look forward to. It'll be a raise of about, I think, like $800 a year, basically. So splitting that up over the course of all my paychecks, that's not a whole lot, but I think it comes out to like $30 a paycheck. But I'll take what I can get, so that'll still be good. So what else have I done here lately? This year, like I said, I've done really good at saving, I think, and not spending. One big thing I did was I switched my car insurance, which was probably the best decision I've made this year, because I was paying a lot for my last insurance that I was with, and now I'm paying a lot less. I am saving a little over $500 each time I do it, and I pay it twice a year. So I'm literally saving over $1,000 a year by doing that. So that was a really smart decision. I'm very glad I did it. So that helps a lot going forward. And then also this month, I did actually get a new credit card to use for buying gas, because that is one of my biggest expenses every month. And I did something like this last year. I think it was like last November or December, I got a new credit card. Got me 2% cash back on gas. And so I kind of did the same thing this year, except this time, this new one is 3%. So that saves me a bit more. I think it comes out to like an extra like $4 or $5 off every single month. But over 12 months, that's close to like $50. So that'll save me about another $50 a year. And still a lot better. Thinking back to years ago when I wouldn't do anything or wouldn't get any cash back, it was now with 3% cash back, I'm saving close to $150 a year. So yeah, every year I've kind of gotten more into looking into credit cards and, figuring out which ones are worth having and, using them to my advantage. So with the rewards points and cash back and everything. So that was another good improvement I've made to set myself up for the future. So overall, this month, while it may not have been the best, I've done some good things here, and I'm setting myself up good. And yeah, like I said, November next month, I really could. I think I have to keep my spending. If I did the math right, I think my spending will probably have to be less than like $1,500. If I can keep my expenses under that for the month, then I should be able to do it. And I think I can. I've had a good amount of these months actually be under that number. I've had quite a few months of like $1,100 or $1,200. So and you know, with not having a lot of expenses planned, I really think I can do it. So I'm really hoping I can come back next month saying I hit $200,000. But we're gonna have to wait and see. Anything can happen, but we're still continuing on, and we're still making progress. So I think that's really all there is to say. Yeah, hopefully we can close this year out strong, and yeah, just keep working. So that'll be it for this October recap. Thank you for watching, and I guess I will see you guys in the November recap, and then maybe a minute to win it live stream sometime before, and who knows, maybe something else here or there. So that's it.